insecurities of individuals, due to the insecurities. And this is the year where you need to kiss all your excuses goodbye. This is the year. Matter of fact, just go blow a kiss. Mwah, yeah. This is a kiss to tell every excuse, everything that the enemy told me I cannot become, I cannot do. This is the year I kiss all those excuses goodbye. This is the year I tell myself I don't care how tall I am, I'm going to be a big man in God. This is the year I don't care if I'm a size 22, I'm going to be a 22 anointed vessel of God. This is the year where you need to pray and tell yourself, pop your own collar and say, you know what God did in the mirror is good. Yes, it is. Yes. This is the year that if don't nobody else tell you you're fine, you need to look at the mirror and tell yourself, God made me fearfully and wonderfully made. This is the year where you need to start prophesying to yourself, and you need to tell self, I'm a bad man. Self, God's getting ready to use me supernaturally. Self, everything that the enemy tried to hold me back from, I'm getting ready to enter into, and I'm getting ready to go full for self. This is the year where God's going to use me to touch the anointed, and folks going to get healed. Self, this is the year when I open up my mouth, things are getting ready to happen. Self, this is the year that I'm going to prophesy that my children's children are getting ready to get delivered. And self, we are going to do all that God has for us. Can I preach about 20 y'all in this building that will prophesy to yourself and say, self, this is my year. My year. I'm tired of making excuses. I'm tired of holding myself back. The truth of the matter is, brother, you're not my enemy. My enemy is really me. That's the truth of the matter. I know I tried to make other folk look like they were my enemy. I know I tried to talk about my haters. But the truth of the matter is, my real hater is the hater that I got to deal with in the mirror. There is no more enemy than the enemy that I wake up to. Nobody talks worse to me than I talk to myself. That's why the Bible says you have to cast down every evil imagination that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. Why is that so critical? It's because nobody knows what I say to myself when I'm by myself. Nobody knows how I talk to myself and tell myself I'll never be nothing because I did not graduate. I had a child out of wedlock. I found myself on drugs. God can't use me. Look at how I've become. Look at what I've made my life into. And self has to get to the point where he says, greater is he, oh my God, that's in me. It's not me anyway that's getting ready to do it. It's the God inside of me. I was 18 when I had my first child, Pastor Tucker. I was 18 years old, had a son out of wedlock, to a woman I barely even knew. It was better if I was at least in a relationship. I was a captain of my football team, captain of my track team. I had a whole life in front of me. And all of a sudden, all of those dreams dash. Because now I'm faced with some issues that I never addressed in the church.
Come on, man. That's good. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Come on.
I was not born in the streets. I was raised in the church. They taught me how to shout. They taught me how to dance, but they never taught me how to deal.
Come on. Come on.
I came and I gave my life to Christ. Came up to the altar and I said, God, I give you my all. But I thought that when I did that all this stuff would go away just somehow supernaturally. I thought that my sexual deviancy and the mindset that I had somehow had gone away. But I found out later that night. I'm too deep. Am I too real in here? Y'all want me to get deep? Go back to the. But when you really deal with the issues, I found myself, Dr. Payton, in a precarious position because of my insecurity.
Come on, come on.
My insecurity was birthed because I did not know who I was. I thought being a man, Pastor Tucker, was how many women I could sleep with. Right. I thought being a man meant how many folks I could knock out. I thought being a man meant waving my testosterone around, saying, beating on my chest and saying I'm a man. I did not realize that my manhood was really found in God. Right. And my examples were not really men in the street, but they were also men in the church. There were men that I thought God had put up and set up in my life, but really they were disguises, deception. Because I'm not talking about men that were outside the church that were my idols. I'm talking about men that were right up in the church, sleeping with every woman they could get their hands on. And I'm talking about women that would give it up to any man that told them they look good. Everybody's struggling with insecurity that nobody want to talk about it. And we sitting in church and folk are struggling with their sexuality, but they can't talk about it. Because if they talk about the fact that I'm really a man, but I'm struggling with some tendency, nobody want to hear that, and they'll ostracize me. I can't talk about that I'm a woman. I'm called by God, a virtuous woman of God, but I got some things that's burning up inside of me. But if I talk about it, you're going to call me a hoe.
Come on.
I thought I was that vessel. But after some issues that I've got.
Hey. Come on.
I thought I was at home for a minute. Touch your neighbor, say, I got to get free from me. I got to get This is the last year that I let the enemy trick me. This is the last year that I lied to myself. Prophetess, I lied to me. I lied to me. How dare me lie to everybody else and then still lie to myself. I told myself I was tired. I told myself I was okay. I